The woman underneath the noise. Hello, and welcome back to Unstoppable Living, the podcast where high achieving women stop performing and come home to themselves. I'm your host, Juli Miezejeski, and this is episode 7. So pour your coffee, take a breath, and settle in. Last Sunday, we met the voice inside your head. We named the 3 saboteurs that most often run the show for high-achieving women: the judge, the hyperachiever, and the pleaser. And I ended that episode with a promise. I said that today we'd meet the wiser voice waiting underneath all that noise, your sage. Because here's the truth I want you to know this morning. You are not your saboteurs. You never were. Underneath every critical thought, every push, every people-pleasing impulse, there is a woman who has been quietly, patiently waiting for you to come find her. She is calm, she is clear, she is deeply wise, and she has been there the whole time. Today, let me introduce you to her. I want to tell you about the first time I really met her. It was during a coaching session, of all places. I was doing my own inner work, sitting with a decision that felt impossibly heavy. And my coach asked me a question that stopped me in my tracks. She asked, "Julie, if you could quiet every voice inside your head that's telling you what to do, the judge, the fear, the shoulds, the strategies, and just listen to the wisest part of you, what does she say?" I remember the silence. It was long, uncomfortable. My judge tried to jump in with a clever answer. My hyperachiever wanted to solve it. My pleaser wanted to give the response she thought I wanted to hear. But underneath all of that, when I finally got quiet enough to feel her, she spoke. She didn't speak in words at first. She gave me a quiet knowing that I had nothing to prove and nothing to defend. And then very simply she said, "You already know. You've always known." I cried, not because it was dramatic, but because I recognized her. She wasn't a stranger. She was the truest part of me, the part I had been drowning out with noise and productivity and achievement for decades. That moment changed my life path, and it's what I most want for every woman listening today. So let me tell you what the SAGE actually is, because this is where the PQ framework becomes not just useful, but transformational. In positive intelligence, the SAGE is the part of your brain and your being that operates from wisdom instead of survival. Your saboteurs live in the fight or flight parts of your brain, reactive, defensive, always scanning for threats. Your sage lives in a different part of you entirely, calmer, clearer, present. And the sage has 5 distinct powers she can bring to any moment in your life. The first is empathize. She meets yourself and others with compassion instead of judgment. Where the judge sees failure, the sage sees a human being having a human moment. The second is explore. She approaches situations with curiosity instead of certainty. Where the saboteurs demand answers, the sage asks questions. She wonders. She stays open. The third is innovate. She sees new possibilities where the saboteurs only see problems. She trusts that there is always a creative way through one that hasn't revealed itself yet. The fourth is navigate. She quietly steers by your deepest values, your inner compass, your long view. And the fifth is activate. When it's time to move, she moves, grounded, decisive, without the frantic urgency of the saboteurs, but with all the clarity and power of a woman who knows what's true for her. Now, here's what I most want you to hear. You already have every one of these powers inside of you. They are not something you earn. They are not something you achieve. They are your birthright. They have been in you since the day you were born. The reason you can't always hear your sage is not because she isn't there. It's because your saboteurs have been louder. That's it. That's the whole thing. And the beautiful news, the news that changes everything, is that the more time you spend in sage energy, the louder she becomes and the quieter the saboteurs become. It is literally a matter of neural pathways. What you practice grows, what you starve weakens. Every time you catch a saboteur and shift into a sage power, even for 10 seconds, you are rewiring your brain. You are building the neural pathways of the woman you are becoming. And over time, she stops being an occasional visitor and starts becoming your default way of moving through the whole world. That is what coming home to yourself actually means on a neurological, spiritual, and lived level. It means the wisest part of you finally gets to lead. Before we wrap, if you're feeling the pull to meet your own sage more deeply, this is the exact work I do with women one-on-one as a positive intelligence coach. Stick around to the end, and I'll tell you how to connect. Here's your reflection for this week. And I want you to actually try this, not just think about it. Find a quiet moment, put a hand on your heart, and ask yourself the question my coach once asked me. If I could quiet every voice inside my head that's telling me what to do and just listen to the wisest part of me, what does she say? Don't force an answer. Don't grab for the first thought. Just get quiet enough to feel her. She may not speak in words. She may speak in a feeling, an image, a knowing. Trust whatever comes. She has been waiting a very long time for you to ask. So let's wrap up. You are not your saboteurs. You are the woman underneath them. The calm, clear, deeply wise part of you who has been waiting your whole life for you to turn toward her. And every time you do, even for a moment, you are becoming more of who you already are. Your action step this week. Once a day, pause and ask, what would my sage say right now? Then listen, just listen. Next Sunday, we'll talk about what it looks like to actually live from your sage in the middle of a real messy, busy life. Because it's one thing to meet her in a quiet moment and another to let her lead when the day is falling apart. I want to give you a practical way to bring her with you into everything. Thank you for being here for episode 7 of Unstoppable Living. If something in this episode impressed you, I'd love for you to do 3 small things. Subscribe so you never miss an Unstoppable Sunday. Leave a review to help other high-achieving women find this show. And head over to lifecoachingwithjulie.com to explore my coaching programs. Also, next time you browse on Amazon, grab my book, Stuck, Unstuck, Unstoppable, and join our community of women coming home to themselves on Facebook. High Achieving Women, Align Purpose with Spirit. Until next Sunday, take care and trust that the woman you're becoming is already on her way.